Brett Favre with us now, and you could check out the things that Brett Favre is doing with the CEO of Sqor, Sqor, at sqor.com if you want information. If you want to donate to his charitable efforts this holiday time, you could do so. Sqor.com. Brett Favre joins us now. Again, thank you for doing so, Brett. I'm wondering what Sundays are like for you. Do you watch the games? Do you stay away from the games? What are your Sundays like?
I don't know. Boy, I watch some. Our youngest daughter is 15, and she's playing. She's playing volleyball. It's basically year round. Anyone with kids would know. I mean, it's travel volleyball, or it's travel baseball, or travel soccer, whatever. She's playing travel volleyball, and so I guess to answer your question, when I have time, I do watch. I have every intention to watch some, but it seems like we're always busy either traveling or on our way to practice, or it's beautiful out and we're outside playing or whatever.
But what's happening when you're watching? Like, are you filled with longing? Are you sitting there correcting? Are you saying this receiver didn't run the right route? Like, what are you rooting for somebody?
I wouldn't say. In some respects, I guess I look at it more like a fan. But I guess I can't help but.
Please turn second right, then make the next left turn.
Sorry about that. I'm
Where are you
actually
going?
driving somewhere. But anyway,
Yeah.
I just at times I guess I'm like, he should have done that. Or a lot of times, like yesterday, my daughter and I were just kind of in the kitchen and we were watching a game, and I said, "That's holding." Sure enough, they throw a flag and it was holding. And she's like, kind of sarcastic. She's like, "Dad, you should be a referee or a coach." And you know, so I would say for the most part, though, I'm easy to tolerate when watching a game. That makes sense.
Brett Favre is with us here on
Brett, you
ESPN
sound distracted.
Radio.
You sound distracted. Are you lost?
Well, he's got his navigation system
Do you know where
on.
you're going? Are you lost? Let's get this straight. Let's get you to where you need to be. Like, is everything okay? I don't want you to drive like 20 hours into the wilderness because we're asking you dumb questions about football. Is everything all right?
I'm trying to figure out how to cancel my navigation in this truck, and I have no idea how to do that.
All right. I tell you what.
Isn't that pitiful?
How about we just hold on for a second? We'll talk amongst ourselves. We'll talk to Brian for a second. Is Brian in the car with you? Is the CEO of Sqor? Let's get this out of the way while you handle the navigation portion of this.
No, he's not. No.
All right. Is he on the line?
Oh, I don't know. It's Brian. Yeah, Brian is on the line. So, Brett, what we want you to do is figure out how to shut off your navigation system.
All right, leave
we'll
Brett
talk
alone.
to Brian for a second.
Just for a second. One question for Brian.
I'm trying right now.
All right, you handle your situation.
But, Brett, you can pull over now and
pull
do
over.
it. All right?
We don't want an accident with a Hall of Famer, legendary Hall of Famer getting into an accident. So you handle that. Brian Wilhite of CEA. He's the CEO of Sqor, Sqor.com. And again, there's doing some crowdsourcing at his Sqor page to raise money for Brett's charity for the holidays.
Right. You can go to Brett's page. Sqor has some really cool athletes, Dan. Gronk is one of them. Hunter Pence is another. Brett Favre obviously is one. You can go to Brett's Sqor page, and right there's crowdsourcing to raise money for.
Ask Wilhite the question. Quit selling the site and let Wilhite do it.
Mr. Wilhite, tell LeBatard what's going on at Brett Favre's Sqor page, please.
And then you can go, Wilhite. After you do that, you can just go, and we'll be done with you, and we'll figure out if we can get Brett where he needs to go.
Well, I wouldn't throw me off the show yet until we figured out Brett's got his thing figured out. You know, you might need me. You might need me as a backup reserve. But what we've done is we have introduced one of the things that we provide the athlete and the sports fan really is the ability for the athlete to crowdsource funds either for their event or whatever it is they're trying to do, or for charity or cause that may be important to them. In the case of Brett, he has a charity that he founded along with his wife Deanna a few years ago, and it's something that's really important and dear to them, and it serves multi-purposes now. Several different causes that they're focused on, and it's a way for them easily to market and promote charity, the foundation is important to the athlete and important to Brett, and to really get some support from the fans that are out there that want to participate and help support the cause. I mean, lots of athletes do amazing things when it comes to community and giving back. And what we want to do is make it really easy and simple for the fan and for the athlete that are already interacting at Sqor.com and building a fan base to just have another way to be able to give back to the community. And we have some athletes that are out there that are also athletes who are in small market sports. If you think about the women's sport market, they don't make a lot of money. You think about Olympians, you think about adventurers. There's some amazing things that our athletes are doing out there that raising money to be able to execute and do what they want to do. And we make it easy for them to do so at Sqor.com within their profile page.
Thank you, Brian. And it feels like Favre is still struggling with this thing. Is that GPS sending you to Arizona? Is that what's happening? Are you driving straight to the Cardinal facility? Is that
in Bruce Arians' voice?
I got it turned off, but don't quote me on that.
Okay, I bet you it makes another appearance.
Brett, when's the last time a team called you or your agent asking if you wanted to come back?
That's been a couple of years.
Really?
Couple of years.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was St. Louis.
Yeah.
That's gone. That's gone. So it's over.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. I'm over and done with. Yeah. That's. I think they finally realized that there's better choices out there.
But Favre, if the Cardinals called, like if you were watching that game last night, like if the Cardinals called, I mean, I know you'd be on the next flight to Arizona. You would be. A playoff chance, a playoff team.
Tempting, but no.
Okay, it's over. It's finally.
They're better.
Give us we talked to Peanut Tillman one time, and you've got to have a good story for this. Peanut Tillman told us he played in a game that was so cold he felt like he was landing on concrete. He said he wanted to quit during the game. He did not care which team won or lost. This is obviously a very tough person. Didn't care who won or lost. He just wanted to get off the field and get back home. What is the worst game like that Brett Favre has ever played in?
I would bet that the game that he's actually talking about was against us when they actually destroyed us. My last year in Green Bay was our second Hurricane in Chicago. And they were, I think, 3-13 that year, and we were 13-3. Two of our losses came to Chicago. And in Green Bay, playing in Green Bay 16 years, I obviously played in Chicago a bunch. And surprisingly, it was never that cold, really. This one particular time was right before Christmas. It may have actually been like the 23rd. But it was so cold. And Kyle Orton was quarterback for the Bears, and they could not do anything wrong. It looked like it was a balmy 80 degrees the way they played. But it was so windy. It would be sunny, and then it would be cloudy, and like quick flurries would come down, hot dog, popcorn wrappers, things like that. And that was really the one time in my career that I could honestly say the game could not get over with quick enough. Fortunately, it happened in the latter part of my career than the early part of my career, because you're in the wrong place if that's happening early in your career. But it was so miserable. It was nearly unbearable. I think the actual temperature was like 4, single digits, but the wind was like 30 to 60 miles per hour the whole time.
Well, let me ask you this. If I had Aaron Rodgers on the line right now and I asked him for an honest answer to this question, would you rather play a dome playoff game on the road or have to play in 0 degrees at home? What do you think the honest answer to that question is?
Oh, without a doubt. 0 degrees, without a doubt. You just have to. I mean, that's tough conditions, but it's tough for both sides to look at the most important factor of where you're playing, and to play it in Lambeau, regardless of temperature, you have to look at that as a huge advantage.
What's going on there with the phone in your face, Favre? You're pressing your face against the phone and it's making beeping sounds. It's tremendous. It feels like...
It doesn't seem like you're good with modern technology.
You are a grandpa. How is Brett Favre not good at modern technology? Because you're a grandpa now.
Well, I'll tell you what, my oldest grandson is 4, and he can show me anything I need to know when it comes to electronics. And that may be the case for any child. But he's savvy when it comes to that.
Give us another example of how Brett Favre is old.
Of how Brett Favre is what?
Old. Well, that's a good example right there. You can't hear old, feeling old.
Yeah, and what'd you say? You know what? I can't complain. You know, at 45, I reluctantly I say I feel better than I did for most of my career, and obviously that's because I'm not getting hit anymore. And it took me 20 years to realize finally that I didn't particularly like how getting hit felt, but for 19 years it didn't seem to bother me. But when I wake up Monday mornings now, I feel a lot better.
Brett,
whatever that means. I mean, I don't know what a lot better is compared to other people.
Right. Brett, thank you for making time for us again, and thank you too, Brian Wilhite, CEO of Sqor, Sqor. Thank you guys for being on with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Have a good holiday.
Oh, wait a minute. Now you've got him? Now you've got him on the line? Really? Now you've got him on the line? Did we already lose him? Did we already lose Brett Favre? Brett, you still there? No, you got to be.
I am still.
Oh, yes. All right.
Yes.
Brett, we got somebody who wants to talk to you. We got somebody who's very excited to talk to you. Your biggest fan. Go ahead. Your biggest fan of Brett Favre.
I mean, of all the guys in the world that could be on the phone, I mean, this is a guy that I want to talk to. Brett, if the president of the United States needs you, can you go to North Korea and save the world?
Oh, my God.
This must be John Madden.
Yes, John Madden.
What, Coach? How you doing? I haven't talked to you in a long time.
Ben, Brett, where you been?
What is happening here?
Can you hear me?
Make it stop.
Make it stop.
Coach, you're as bad as me with technology in your phone.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Well played. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm glad I kept it for this. I'm sorry, guys. Go to commercial.
Ho, ho, ho. Happy holidays from the Dan LeBatard Show on ESPN Radio.
I can't. Still scarred, man.
My face and my body hurts from laughing during the break. I began coughing and wheezing in a really unhealthy fashion from the amount of laughter that was pouring from my body.
We're going to play the highlights from the Brett Favre interview if you missed it earlier. ESPN Radio.
Woo!
I'm so sorry. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance.
Wait a minute, don't bring the sponsors near this. Not right now.
Okay.
Look, you, first of all, you, my trusty sidekick, my pillar in times of turbulence.
Yes.
I look at you for some help during the middle of that disaster, and all you are is wheezing and red-faced, and you're backing away from the microphone as if it's covered in bubonic plague, and you just spit, make it stop. That's the help you were giving me. You.
Well, that was towards the end.
Make it stop.
I thought it was over, and then you had to bring Caliendo on.
Yeah, that was an error in judgment on my part. Nobody's phone line worked. The only thing clear in that entire interview was that damn CEO of Sqor and the navigation system.
Please turn second right. Then make the next left turn.
I mean, Favre fiddling with his navigation system, confused.
Yeah, that was the highlight, by the way. I just imagine Brett Favre trying to shut that thing off by hitting every button in his car.
Please turn second right. Then make the next left turn.
It's always funny when we start leaking confidence. Oh, my gosh. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we do.
Oh, man.
Because we sit here and we tell you when we're good, we're pretty good, but when we're bad, we're great. And I hope you could you could have watched it on ESPNradio.com on the webcam because nothing went right during that interview. Nothing.
Nope.
Everything went wrong except for the crystal clear hijacking by the CEO of Sqor who wouldn't stop talking and had the best phone line in the history of communication.
Now, you brought him in early on the interview.
I brought him in early because I was in a panic and I was afraid that we were going to have Brett Favre careen into a ditch while we were talking to him. He was totally confused. Listen to him in there. Listen. Listen to him in there. I just picture him hitting all the buttons in his car with his palms.
Wow.
I hope you enjoyed that the way that we did. Because, man,
right. Then make the next left
you hear him muttering.
that.
You just hear him muttering.
What we want you to enjoy, the reason Dan is stressing that, I think, is how uncomfortable we are and us drowning.
I mean, it's horrible.
Yes.
It's horrible,
Yes.
but then at least we saved it at the end by bringing in a fake John Madden.
On a lousy phone.
On both of them on bad phones. So you got a fake John Madden, you got Brett Favre, everybody on lousy phones except the CEO of Sqor, who is piping in there perfectly clear in the navigation system, which won't shut up.
And then the Caliendo thing doesn't work. And then Brett says, "Hey, Coach, how you doing?"
Well, right, the phone lines were so bad that he actually thought it was Coach Madden asking him how to solve North Korea. And so the text I get from Frank Caliendo, because I just texted him apologizing for wasting his time, was it funny because of how bad it was, at least, is what Caliendo writes me back. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh, man.
Why does that stuff only happen to us? Is it because we're terrible at this? That never happens to other radio shows. They just do their job right.
Also, other radio shows, if they have a bad interview segment, it's staged like that. It's a bad interview segment. They go to break, they come back like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, they move on.
If you're watching that on the webcam, though, you are so enjoying our total deterioration. I was jumping up and down away from the microphone with laughter once that was over.
Scale 1 to 10, how red was my face?
It was unbelievable. The thing about your face is, I was looking to you for help, and I've never felt so alone.
I'm sorry.
Because you're bent over, crouched as if you're hiding from me behind the microphone, and then you just wheeze out a whimpered, "Make it stop."
I didn't know what
which isn't exactly helpful.
I know.
Make it stop. You got to jump in with a question. And incidentally, it was your genius idea to bring in the CEO of Sqor in the middle of the interview, and you blame me for it.
Well, no, I didn't tell you to bring him in at the very beginning. That's the navigation system's fault.
That hijacker. That guy.
Second right. Then make the next left turn.
I mean, listen, we had Favre on a month ago, and he was great, but we all knew the deal with the CEO of Sqor coming on. I just didn't know you were going to bring him in 2 minutes in.
Well, but I didn't even, and he knew from the last time because we brought him in at the end that he only gets the one time to talk and sell his product.
Yes.
He filibustered.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, that guy.
Yeah, but in his mind, he was filling for us while Brett was turning off the navigation system. I think that's what he thought. I mean,
Turn second right. Then make the next left turn.
He took his opportunity, man.
Oh, man.
Wow. Anyway.
Of course that interview was my fault. It's not anybody else's fault. I'm just saying that Stugatz didn't exactly shine
I gave you nothing.
in assisting me toward the end of it.
I gave you nothing. Anyway. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, comparing rates to help you save. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today and find out how much Progressive could save you. And the Dan LeBatard Show is brought to you by Porter Cable 20-volt Max Link Tool System. Get linked today.
More of my song, Dan and Stu, on ESPN Radio.
Hey, jingity jing, it's Dominic the donkey, jingity jing, the Italian Christmas donkey, la la la.
Get in touch with the show anytime through the 800 Flowers Twitter feed, at LeBatard Show, at Stugatz 790, Eric Allen 30 minutes from now on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline.
And don't even get me started on scared incompetent producer Mike Ryan during that whole thing. I feel like I just endured all the same things that the star of Unbroken did. because of what the listeners were doing, and because the listeners weren't helping at all either. Like, they sense us drowning, and they are piranha, man. Piranha. They sense us leaking confidence.
Yeah.
And they just start swimming around and dining.
We've kind of trained them that way, haven't we?
So that interview was the equivalent of getting in an airplane crash.
Yes.
Surviving, but landing in shark-infested waters.
And enemy territories.
And enemy territory, then being taken a prisoner of war.
Yes, Angelina Jolie could do a very good movie on just our last 25 minutes of radio. That's what I'm saying. I think you should call Hollywood to do that, because this is an unbelievable show of courage and triumph of the human spirit, what I am showing in being resilient in the face of you. Make it stop. You, the listeners, just drowning me in insults.
The make it stop was, I just wanted it to go away. I wanted to end, but you had to bring back in. We were done. Favre, you're still there.
Yeah,
Kelly,
just imagine Unbroken with a fake John Madden. Anyway, moving on.
Who do you think gets cast as the navigational Meryl Streep, I think?
I've got